What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your third stimulus check update. In the last 48 hours, we had partial passing of the third stimulus check package. Because they are passing the third stimulus check package through the reconciliation rules and the reconciliation card, there's additional motions and procedures and bills that have to be passed to pass it in this special way that they're passing the third stimulus check package because no Republicans will vote for it. Just yesterday, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed one of the initial procedures or bills for the third stimulus check package. As you can see here, House passes a budget resolution moving forward with the $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. The House approved a budget resolution on Wednesday as the Democrats move forward with the process, the reconciliation process, that will allow them to pass the $1.9 trillion stimulus package without Republican support. On Tuesday, the Senate passed a very similar bill. As you can see here, the Senate passed a procedural motion with a 50 to 49 vote to move forward with the budget resolution, or AKA the stimulus package, clearing the way for passing the many provisions included in President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package through reconciliation. So, right now, let's go directly over to the White House. We're going to listen to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki that is going to answer questions directly on the third stimulus check and the third stimulus check package. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on upcoming videos on the third stimulus check and all the other buckets of money that are in these packages, such as mortgage and rental assistance, possible student loan forgiveness and Social Security increases, and all the different things that come in a stimulus package. And give this video a like down below. It really helps out our channel. All right, here we go. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
A couple of other updates. The President and his administration, all of us, are continuing their close engagement today on the American Rescue Plan, a top priority for him and all of us at this moment, including outreach to lawmakers and stakeholders, as well as our continuing work to make the case directly to the American people. We're heartened that Congress is moving quickly on this. Over the next several days, committees will have a chance to review the legislation. As you know, that's kind of the next step in the process next week. Oh, actually, after the vote-a-rama tonight. It's a very Washington term, but that is literally what it's called. And Republicans will have additional opportunities to provide input and help improve the final product. That's how the process is supposed to work, and we're encouraged that there is agreement on the need to move swiftly and the goal of making this bipartisan bill and package. There's a couple of questions that many of you have asked us and others have asked us over the course of our effort on the American Rescue Plan, so I just wanted to address some of those here. First, why do we need a package of this size, or will we be fine with the status quo? Obviously, this is a good question that's asked as economic data comes out. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of pieces for all of you. A CBO report found that without any additional stimulus, our economy wouldn't reach pre-pandemic levels until 2025. And it would take just as long to get back to full employment. This week was the 46th consecutive week that jobless claims have exceeded the pre-pandemic record high. Kevin Hassett, President Trump's top economic advisor, said, quote, "We need to be risk averse, and that without a major stimulus, we could have a, quote, negative spiral for the economy."
That's important there. So she's saying without these upcoming stimulus packages, that basically the economy and the amount of jobs would not get back to their pre-pandemic levels until 2025. So that goes along with what economists say, and President Biden agrees with, that spending money now with stimulus packages will actually pay for itself and in essence cost nothing because it'll get us out of the pandemic sooner, as opposed to every package that they don't pass will be like, say, another year in the recession. Passing that stimulus package will actually pay for itself by getting us out of the recession quicker, if that makes sense.
Advisor said, quote, "We need to be risk averse, and that without a major stimulus, we could have a, quote, negative spiral for the economy." This is a grim picture, but analysis after analysis shows us that the rescue plan would make a huge difference. Moody's Analytics found it would get us to full employment a year faster. Brookings predicts it would get us back to pre-pandemic levels by the end of the year. And over 90% of economists surveyed by Reuters found it would drive substantial growth. The second question we often get, another good question, is when we will see bipartisan support for this bill. The reality is we see it every single day. A new survey from Navigator Research out this morning shows 72% of Americans support the rescue plan, including 53% of Republicans. A Quinnipiac poll yesterday found that 68% of Americans back the rescue plan. A Yahoo YouGov survey on Monday showed that over 2/3 support the package. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those pieces. Those are excellent questions we get in here, but we did a little thinking about your questions.
Thank you. Can you update us on the president's thinking on the issue of forgiving student loan debt? There are some groups that are pushing for the president to forgive all student loan debt. And where does he stand on that?
Sure. The president has and continues to support canceling $10,000 of federal student loan debt per person as a response to the COVID crisis. He's calling on Congress to draft the proposal, and if it is passed and sent to his desk, he will look forward to signing it. Debt relief is, of course, an important priority for the president. On day one, the first day of his administration, he directed the Department of Education to extend the existing pause on student loan payments and interest for millions of Americans with federal student loans. That was a step he took through executive action, but he certainly supports efforts by members in Congress to take additional steps, and he would look forward to signing it.
So he would do that through legislation and not an EO, not an executive order?
Well, I think he already took a step through an executive action on the first day, and he would look to Congress to take the next steps.
So that's big news right there for anybody that has student loan debt. I think it's about 1 in 6 adults have student loan debt. Is the president is in favor of, I don't know if she said up to $10,000 or if she said a minimum of $10,000. You can let me know when you replay the video there. But $10,000 of student loan debt, the president is in support of. But the way she said it there is that she thinks the president doesn't want to do it through an executive order, which we have Senate Majority Leader and Senator Elizabeth Warren campaigning for this actually today. I had this in my previous video today, one of the previous videos. We literally showed Chuck Schumer outside at a press conference campaigning for a presidential executive order to cancel student loan debt for up to $50,000. She says that she thinks that the president wants to do it through a bill. So it could be done through the next stimulus package bill or a standalone bill. And well, number one, if you have student loan debts, this is very exciting because could you imagine getting $10,000 or more just wiped away? Because student loan debts you can't really like get out of. Like even if you file bankruptcy, they keep it and you can't really ever get rid of it. So you have to pay it off pretty much at some point. So if they did say even $10,000, that'd basically be the equivalent of giving you a $10,000 stimulus check. And really you have to pay interest on student loan debts. So really it could be worth more, like $12,000 or $15,000 because you wouldn't have interest accruing on that potential $10,000. So that's really big news. But basically, I think she's sending a message to the Democrats to put it in a bill and put it on the floor. The president will sign it. So we remember the Democrats have control of the House and the Senate. This could go in the third stimulus check package, or it could be a standalone bill. So I will keep you updated on that. And really, this just goes to show you that because they have the support, they can do so many different things like this. The child tax credit increase, Social Security increase. I mean, basically, she's saying put them in a bill, and we'll pass them because the Democrats have control of the House and the Senate.
Handling the coronavirus was that the administration didn't provide clear guidance to states about when they should shut down, when they should reopen. Dr. Vivek Murthy back in November talked about a national alert system that would be needed. Is that something that the administration is planning to implement, some kind of color-coded system to tell states, when, by which criteria they should reopen or shut down? Is that something you guys are considering or planning to implement?
I'm happy to talk to our health team, and you'll have another briefing with them tomorrow. Obviously, a number of options are under consideration to both make sure Americans are safer and that we're doing everything necessary to communicate with them accurately, how to keep themselves and their families safe, but also how to better communicate with governors and mayors. Some of that is reopening the line of communication, which was somewhat shut at times, according to governors, during the last administration, and ensuring, which is one of the things that governors have requested, they have a better heads up on how many vaccines they will have access to so they can do better planning. Also working with them and tapping into FEMA, a question that came up earlier, utilizing their resources to be able to kind of mass vaccinate people in larger locations. So those are a lot of the ways that we're implementing it to date. There are a range of options on the table, but I don't have any updates on an alert system.
For a national alert system.
I don't have any update on it, but again, you'll have an opportunity to talk to our health team tomorrow, and it's a good question to ask them.
Secondly, American Airlines and United Airlines are planning to furlough about 27,000 employees by the end of next month as their federal payroll aid runs out. Does President Biden support giving those airlines more financial aid, and does he support including that in this coronavirus relief package?
I think the president's priorities are already in the package, and they are focused on ensuring there's funding to get vaccines in the arms of Americans, funding to reopen schools, ensuring that the 1 in 7 Americans families who can't put food on the table is worried about that, is able to do that. As you know, there's a process that will be ongoing on Capitol Hill where there will be amendments put forward to work on committees, but I think the priorities of the president are already in the bill.
Jen, as it relates to COVID relief, you said the president wants to take care of people that need the help the most. Obviously, a lot of Americans right now say that they need help. So how do you determine who needs help and who doesn't? Where do you draw that line?
Well, again, Peter, I think what we're hoping to do through the package is provide assistance to Americans who are struggling to make ends meet at this moment in time. And you're right, there's a large swath of Americans who are struggling through this moment in time because they fear about their health, the health of their grandparents, of their cousins, of their parents, and also people who worry about their kids going back to school and their desire to get their kids back in school and continue learning. The package itself, again, is of course a priority of the president. It is not the end of our work or the end of his efforts to help bring relief to the American public. It is a first step, as he noted, I should say. He's also going to talk about his Build Back Better agenda in the coming months, and that's something that will certainly build on this as well.
So then, I guess, how soon, for the Americans who are listening to every word that's here, how soon should they expect that relief to come? And can you guarantee that it's going to be there before the March 14 deadline when unemployment insurance, for example, expires?
You're right, and that's something that we're very mindful of here. The president's mindful of, the vice president's mindful of, our economic team is certainly mindful of, Peter, and that's one of the reasons why the president has been so firm in his insistence that the $1,400 checks remain intact and that they go out to the American people. There's a process underway in Congress. Next week, the committees will be doing the work that they should be doing, that they do through the budget reconciliation process. We have been very clear about our own view of the urgency here, and we're hopeful that, and we're confident that Congress shares our view of that.
Wow, so basically a lot there. President Biden is insisting that it keeps the $1,400 stimulus checks in the next package, $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents minimum. This would combine the $1,400 and the $600 to make $2,000. He also talked briefly there about the next stimulus package, the Build Back Better package, also known as the infrastructure stimulus package, that will have multiple sets of stimulus in there. We actually see Nancy Pelosi earlier today on one of my earlier videos say that they're already working on the next stimulus package called the infrastructure package. The reason is I had some comments from some guys say, why are they working on it now? They haven't even passed the third one. Well, number one is they are partially passing the third one, as we went over in the last couple videos and even at the beginning of this video. They passed that motion or that procedure in the Senate and in the House of Representatives to basically move along the reconciliation process. So they are working on it. But while they're passing the third stimulus check package, because they're doing it through the reconciliation process, it's a longer process. It's not as simple as pass it in the House, pass it in the Senate, and it's good. We could do that, but there's no Republican support for it. There are no Republicans in the Senate voted yes on the last procedure in the Senate. That was the start of the reconciliation process. Not a single Republican voted for it. So because they can't get 10 Republicans to say yes on this package, it's going to take a little bit longer process. So, but they're passing that right now. We've had a bill passed in the House and the Senate that is the start of passing the third stimulus check package. So this package is passing. It's really just a matter of when and how soon we're going to get it, which they're passing parts of it now, and also what the details are going to be in it when we get the final bill. Also, as Nancy Pelosi said, they're already working on the next stimulus package called the infrastructure package. Why? Well, because we don't want to, be sitting here next month when they've already passed the third one and they're working on the fourth one. I get comments every day. What's taking them so long? Why don't they just pass it now? Well, these bills all take time. So that's why they're working on the fourth one now, so that we're not sitting here next month and everybody's going, why don't they pass it now? Well, that's what they're doing now. They're working on the fourth one so that by the time you guys are ready for the fourth one, they'll have already have half the work done. Remember, these bills are thousands of pages and all sorts of different topics and stuff. Infrastructure, they're going to work on getting jobs and bringing the economy back up and some stimulus in there and all sorts of things. So remember, they just passed the second one like 30 days ago or less than that. They just passed the second stimulus check. So I get the comments that, they've been working on this for 9 months. Well, no, not really, because remember, they passed the first one, and then they just passed the second stimulus check at the end of December. I don't remember the exact date. So they just passed the second one, and now they're working on the third one. So the quicker they start working on the fourth one, the better. So it's not that it takes them away from working on the third one. Remember, Congress is made of, hundreds of House of Representatives and 100 senators, and then they all have people that work for them. They have subcommittees and aides and stuff that write this bill. Like Mitch McConnell himself doesn't go down and sit and write a 1,000-page bill. They all have aides and stuff. So they have different departments that are working on different parts of the bill, like the third stimulus check package that they're now passing parts of. That bill that was passed in the House and the Senate, the procedural motions, those had to be written. So those were written by aides. They're passing it. And then they have other teams working on other things, such as the fourth stimulus check package and other things that don't even regard stimulus. So the good news is that they're working on passing the third one. They've passed 2 procedural bills on the third stimulus check package. So that's literally happening. They're passing it right now as we speak, and they're continuing on with the process of that. And while they're doing that, they're also working on the fourth stimulus check package or the fourth stimulus package that's going to come after that. So really, it's good news, and this goes exactly along with what President Biden has said. Stimulus checks and stimulus packages until the pandemic is over. So make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out on upcoming videos about the third and the fourth stimulus check package, as well as other things like mortgage and rental assistance, student loan forgiveness, Social Security increases, the child tax credit, which could put $300 a month in your bank account every month for per child. I'll have some more information on that coming out for you guys in one of the next videos. Make sure to click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.